Princess Leonor and Infanta Sofia of Spain. A palace, a crown, a destiny. But here's the truth, royalty isn't always glittering perfection. What if the future Queen of Spain whispered her most fragile dreams only to her sister? Your voice is a lullaby. That's what Sophia once told her sister, Leonor. Not because Leonor sang to her, but because every word Leonor spoke carried a calm strength, a promise, a quiet reassurance that everything would be all right. To the world, Leonor is the heir, the symbol of Spain's continuity, the girl who will one day wear the crown. But to Sophia, she is a sister, a confidant, a lullaby. The Spanish monarchy has stood for centuries, a beacon of tradition and resilience. Yet behind the gilded balconies and the royal wave lies a story of two young girls growing up in a world where every glance, every gesture, every whisper can become tomorrow's headline. Leonor, born to be queen. Sophia, born into the same world, yet destined for a different path. What does it mean to grow up under such contrasting shadows? And more importantly, how do they hold each other steady in a storm of expectations? Leonor was born in 2005, the first daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. From her very first cry, Spain listened. Every step she took was a symbol of succession. Every smile, a reassurance. The newspapers called her, La Princesa de Asturias, the heir apparent. But in the nursery, she was simply, Leo. A little girl with curious eyes, clutching Sophia's hand when the lights of the cameras grew too bright. Sophia arrived 2 years later, in 2007. And from that moment, the bond was sealed. Two sisters, sharing the same palace walls, yet walking different roads. Sophia, the second-born, would never carry the crown. But does that make her role any less vital? History shows us that siblings of monarchs often carry the invisible weight of the throne. They are the protectors, the companions, the ones who ensure the future ruler never stands alone. Here lies the first paradox. The world looks to Leonor for leadership, yet Sophia is often the one who ensures her sister remains human. Who keeps her laughter alive? Who listens when the burden of history becomes too heavy? Their relationship is not just about duty. It is about love. About the small, intimate exchanges that escape the flash of cameras. When Leonor gave her first major public speech at just 13 years old, the world marveled at her composure. She spoke clearly, elegantly, as though her voice had been shaped by centuries of monarchs before her. But what the cameras did not capture was Sophia's quiet smile from the front row, the look of pride, almost maternal, in her eyes. She had been the one who encouraged Leonor the night before, reminding her, "You'll do it. You'll shine. You always do. That is what sisters do." And yet, the palace is not a fairy tale. Growing up royal means living in a paradox, the private self versus the public role. Leonor is trained, day by day, to embody duty. She studies history, law, languages, and diplomacy with an intensity that most teenagers cannot imagine. She trains for a future where one mistake could echo across continents. Sophia, though not bound to the throne, is no less prepared. Her role may be undefined, but in monarchy, undefined roles can carry the sharpest edges. Consider this: what does it mean to be the spare? History books are filled with stories of royal siblings torn apart by rivalry, envy, or exclusion. Princes who rebelled, sisters who faded into silence. Yet in Spain, a different story unfolds. Sophia is not a rival. She is Leonor's anchor. In moments of ceremony, she is always just a step behind, but always within reach. When Leonor walked into military academy, wearing the uniform that marked her transition into leadership, Sophia was the one who hugged her longest, whispering words the microphones couldn't catch. The world saw discipline, duty, destiny. Sophia saw her sister, nervous and brave, stepping into adulthood. And what of Leonor? Does she ever long for the simplicity her sister enjoys? Imagine the quiet of their shared childhood rooms. Imagine the nights when Leonor confessed her fears about being queen, about carrying centuries of expectation on her shoulders. Imagine Sophia's reply: "Your voice is a lullaby. For Spain. For me. You don't have to be perfect. Just be you." This is the intimacy no camera captures. The bond that turns duty into something softer. Something bearable. The monarchy itself is evolving. In an age where public trust is fragile, where scandals have scarred the institution, Leonor represents renewal. She is young, educated, a woman who will one day lead a nation still reconciling tradition with modernity. But no queen rules alone. Behind her, always, is her sister. The press calls Leonor the future queen. But perhaps the truer title belongs to Sophia, the quiet guardian. This dynamic, two sisters, one crown, one destiny shared but divided, fuels endless curiosity. Will Sophia ever step into a formal role? Will Leonor lean on her as past monarchs leaned on siblings in times of turmoil? History offers both cautionary tales and hopeful ones. Elizabeth I and Mary Tudor, torn by rivalry and blood. Elizabeth II and Princess Margaret, bound by loyalty yet divided by choices. Which story will Spain's princesses write? The answer lies not in the grandeur of royal ceremonies, but in the lullabies whispered between them. In the way Sophia steadies Leonor when nerves threaten. In the way Leonor acknowledges her sister, not as an accessory, but as her equal in spirit. The crown may sit on one head, but the weight is shared by two hearts. And that is what makes their story extraordinary. Every glimpse of them together sparks fascination. When they walk side by side at official events, observers note their synchronicity. Not rehearsed, not forced, natural. Two young women moving with an ease that comes only from a lifetime of shared steps. When they exchange a glance, it is not the glance of royals. It is the glance of sisters. A glance that says, I know you. I feel you. I'm here. Spain waits. The world watches. And the sisters grow. Together. Always together. The lullaby continues. So here is the final paradox. The voice that will one day command armies, parliaments, and nations, is also the same voice that once lulled a younger sister to sleep. Sophia knew it first. Spain will know it soon. Leonor's voice is not just royal. It is human. It is love. It is a lullaby. And maybe, just maybe, that is what Spain truly needs.